There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, ding, 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 ding. Stepping up to the hot seats with the compliments of Frisco ice cream. First questions first. If you had to pick your favorite flavor of ice cream, what would it be? Doctor, the Honorable Prime Minister.
Pistachio.
How much other things add to that? Mr. 100 Days, 99 days not out. You say which flavor?
I like pistachio.
Pistachio.
Yes.
Right. All right. And over on this side, the Honorable, oh Lord have mercy, Terrence Oliver. My apologies. I've been.
Dr. Terrence Oliver. Yes.
Dr. Terrence Oliver.
Honorary.
We are in. So we in Southern Grenadines, picking your ice cream flavor, representing the whole Southern Grenadines. Pick a good flavor. Eh? So which flavor are you going with Frisco?
I will go chocolate.
Chocolate. You see? All right.
Yeah, well, chocolate is a close second with me.
A close second. So we have a pistachio, we have a chocolate, and we're celebrating 100 days in office with pistachio and chocolate ice cream from Frisco. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, ladies in the building as well. How we doing?
Good
We're
morning.
doing good morning. Good morning to you, Jagger, and your team, and for your viewers and listeners all over the world. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. Day 99 of office.
Day 99.
If you had one word to describe it,
it's been a wonderful experience thus far because we now have an opportunity to deliver for the people of this country.
So wonderful is the word.
It does, yes, it does give me a great deal of satisfaction to know that we have been able to keep our promises that we made. We said within 60 days we will do certain things to ease the cost of living crisis on the people in this country, and we did so. And we are continuing to look for ways in which we can make things better for the people in St. Vincent and Grenadines. Of course, we have the other major policies that we have in place on the social side. But in our budget, we also delivered a plan for the future of the country.
Right.
A lot of it we can implement in this term, but a lot of it also is setting the basis for further work going forward. We have also honored our campaign, and prior to that, our principled position that the persons who were fired under the vaccine mandate, that they would be reinstated. We're not mincing words with reinstating, rehiring. We say reinstating, with all of the implications that come with that. We will work, and we are doing so, working with the unions, the individuals, to make this as smooth and as respectful as possible, because those people have been through hell. We don't want to make anything more difficult. So we've delivered on that. And of course, we have our plans for various infrastructure projects that we're going to see, because people want to see things happening immediately in their constituents. And I don't blame them. In my own, definitely, I've told them there's certain things that we're going to do. You will see this year, while we put in place the basis for really building an economy that delivers for everybody. And you'll hear a little bit more about that.
All right. So, as you said just now, one of the major things that you wanted to achieve was the easing of the cost of living and how people, in basically quality of life as well.
Yes.
So, you had the VAT-free day.
We had the VAT-free day.
Which some people still say is a gimmick.
It's a gimmick.
Well,
I call it an event.
Right.
Because what happened there is that people came in to listen, for the people who came and shopped, for the business owners around Kingstown and not all over the country.
Right.
There was no gimmick in this. This was a serious measure to put money back in people's pockets so that they could respend it in the economy. And it put a shot in the arm of the business people. And they're seeing it that here is a government that really is looking out for people, is looking out for the private sector, that is serious about creating a vibrant economy that is dependent upon the local private sector and foreign direct investment, and of course what government can do. We inherited a government that basically still is up to our throat in debt. Some people, in the previous administration, they say, hook in the gill. Well, all of these things, they have left us. I am not going to complain and whine about it. I'm saying this is the situation we inherited. We are going to take whatever we have and deliver to the people of this country. And it'll take a little time for us to get all of the major things done, but the things that we can affect now, we are doing them.
All right.
People are seeing it in their lives every day.
And you said that the budget is it's a people's budget, and it's
a people's budget. It
has policies in there that's going to help with the cost of living.
Policies and plans, because ultimately,
Mhm.
the way in which you help people in the country most is by creating an economy that provides opportunity for people, that
Right.
provides jobs, that provides business opportunity, that people know to have a good idea, and there are certain institutions in government that could help you to bring it to fruition. That you're not going to have somebody sitting in an office and looking at the thing and saying, well, who's doing this? Is this person can't get off the ground?
Mhm.
You have a good idea? There's some office of government who can assist you in getting it done. Don't be shy to come and tell them, do your work. Here's the thing that I want to get done. You're supposed to be helping me doing it. Do it.
Can you give us like a couple of the policies that have been enacted or are going to be enacted that will be helping with the cost of living crisis?
Well, the cost of living crisis, we have done some of the immediate measures.
Right.
Of course, we have said that we will reduce the VAT
Mhm.
from 16% to 13%, and that will happen during the course of this year. We are working on that as well. We also have
so people need to come off this thing. It's not happening.
no. Well, listen, this is important to our economic plan and for the ensuring that the social safety net in the country
Right.
also functions. You know, this is important to us. This is not an election gimmick. It's part of our strategy. So why would we not do it? You know,
Mhm.
it's a matter of timing and getting things done in a way. There are certain things you have to put in place in order to implement this in a way that is, going to deliver the benefits that we are expecting it to do.
Right.
And so, for those persons who, they have their things, they had to say something.
Right.
But as I told you in the budget, just watch me. You'll see what I do.
So
We'll deliver.
So the VAT reduction is coming.
It is coming, yes.
Right. The other things were I don't want to call it poor relief or public assistance. That's already been enacted, or is
This month, yes.
This month would
yes,
be
yeah.
the enactment
That should, yes. It should
of
have been, so
public
check on
assistance.
your receipts and you'll see. Well, I don't
Ah.
think you get it yet, but
Me?
yeah, no.
I must be close though. The way Luke paying.
You Luke, come back in here, boy.
Nah, I'm joking. But no, that's good
Yeah.
news. Okay, so I want to come over to the Honorable Terence Oliver. You've been in Parliament for quite some years now, right? You've held that seat quite some years.
Yes.
They
Since 2001.
is that long?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the same year you were born. Yeah.
I ain't that young. So how does it feel now on the other side of the bench? And what differences you would say now that you have the ability or more capability to enact change for your constituency, for the wider country? How has it been the first 99 days?
Well, it's satisfactory feeling,
Mhm.
knowing that I'm now in a position to do things to help my constituency.
Right.
Over the years, we have been calling for a number of measures, a number of improvements in the constituency, and which has gone to naught. It seems as if nothing was being done, or hardly anything was being done to really alleviate the plight of the people in the Southern Grenadines. So now I'm in a position to do
Right.
and to help. And we have started off early. First thing I did was to embark on a tour of the whole Grenadines, because have responsibility for Grenadines affairs. So
Right.
we started from Union, went to Myro, went to Canawan, went to Beckwith, looking at all the areas which have been complaining about, making assessments in order to see what we can do first in terms of making sure that the people of the Grenadines improve their living standards.
Right. Okay. So we heard from one of your colleagues this week or last week about the list that, there's some discrepancies on that list for housing, and it had a list of 700 and something, but really when you check it out, it's supposed to be 3 something. For those who are currently still suffering, I would say, with the housing situation, how soon you think that your government would be able to get Southern Grenadines, especially, back on its feet to full working measure?
Well, we have already put measures in place in terms of looking at contractors, looking at assessors, trying to the lumber yards and all those areas.
Mhm.
We have already identified those, and we are looking as early as possible, of maybe next week, to start the rebuilding process, because we realized that even though it was said that you had quite a number of houses in the Grenadines were being rebuilt, then why was it that you have over close to 700 people still on the mainland? It meant that those people had no place to return to.
Right.
So we in the New Democratic Party, we have set about with the Minister of Housing. He was also on the tour with us to the Grenadines, making assessments so we can know exactly what we need to do in order to bring the people to provide housing for the people in the whole Grenadines.
I mean, I can't imagine because I'm not in the situation, but the frustration of not being in your home for approaching 2 years
Right.
must be terrible,
And
right?
I must tell you, the people really want to go home.
They want to go home.
They want
Everybody,
to go home. But
anybody
they
must
have,
want to go
They have
home.
no place to go to. Up to yesterday, walking the street of Kingstown, I met a couple of persons from the Grenadines who were complaining in terms of the readiness to go home and what is being done in order to help them to go back home. They want to do that. Some people have lost their livelihood being up on the mainland for so long. They are trying to get back
Right.
to their reality.
So I guess really the question is the money that was earmarked for that repair. I know that you guys have been in power. Is it still there? Is there still enough to get it done?
That's what we're finding out.
So the relief money.
Part of we voted money in Parliament, and the last time when they came for supplementary budget, we didn't support that because we felt that the money that was voted initially, we haven't seen the impact of that in putting people back in their homes. We have said from the outset, after burial, yes, of course, in the immediate aftermath of the crisis, people have to be moved out, they have to be sheltered, they have to provide for their immediate needs because total destruction.
Right.
And so over the course of time, there's been some rebuilding, and there's the rebuilding of the infrastructure, putting up homes, and we said that the communities will only come back when the people come back. That's what a community is people.
Right.
It's not building, it's not ships, it's not cars, it's people. And you have the people up here, and there is no real urgency to fix up where they should be living. We have been now going on 2 years. Some of the places have been rebuilt. You go there's not a single. Are there any prefab houses built down in Union County?
No, not one.
And the prefab houses.
So where are the prefab houses?
Listen, we find a contract with a company in Trinidad in the government, previous government, for 300 houses. Initially, they brought in. No, you're crazy.
10,
but
10.
it's like 10, and now we have 40. So I asked him as well, how many have been built in that course of that time? 3 at the most, he says, you've seen. And these are prefab houses. They can put them up in less than a week. And that was the whole point of having them, is that you could do it quickly and do it affordably. We've come in, we've seen that there's some problems with it, and we said, okay, let's solve these problems. I said, there are technology we can use to make it easier and faster. We said, let's put them in place, and we will put some of those houses in the Southern Grenadines so people can go back to their community. And they did not prioritize that. That's a problem. And so now you hear people, the Minister Olivier is right. I met 2 persons yesterday, one on the street, one came by my office. The same problem, saying, they're telling us we have to get out of the place where we are now, but we have no place to go.
Right.
And so what are we going to do? As a government, you say go on the street?
Yeah.
So the 300 prefab homes, were they prepaid for? Is it that?
Well, that's part of the problem. They hadn't paid some of the money to the people who were supposed to be paid. And they say, well, they're not delivering until they get paid. We made arrangements to get some money to people so that they can deliver the houses, but also to ask them to come in to help with the training of the people who are, because, it's a different construction technique.
Right.
So to get them up and ready so that they can deliver this. I mean, almost 2 years in prefab houses, and you can't put them up.
Yeah.
So where's the money? That's my question.
you also
Where the
say,
money that was earmarked for this?
Part of the problem is also many of the houses that they said were fixed, you only put on a roof.
And no windows. Yeah, I heard
no
that.
doors,
Yeah, and them roof they was
stuff
put
like that.
done by Waste and
Well, yeah, most
organization.
Of it, yeah. So
So it wasn't government money.
No
No.
windows, no doors. People cannot go back home.
So we reach back to the question again. Where's the money?
Yes.
Where's the money that was earmarked? The millions of dollars earmarked for the repairs in the Southern Grenadines.
Right.
Where is it?
Well, the money that was there, some of it has been spent. I don't think it has been spent effectively. Some of the money is there, and it's just a matter of prioritizing and making sure that the people who need it get it. And to the extent that we can deliver that within the next, we have to set a target. We know that initially it was probably not realistic, but you say you have to set target. We said the end of February, we should get people back there. We've got the list down from 700 to about 300, right?
350.
350.
Yeah.
And so we're working now to get the remainder of those people to go back to their communities. Because that is also, if the money is being spent on rental in that community,
Right.
that is money going back into the community to help to build it up too.
Right. Right.
If people are there on the ground and they see that no work going on in the house, they can go and push and agitate and say, I want.
It's different when you're there.
It's different when you're there.
Yeah.
And so that's our priority. And we will work with the Minister of Housing, and he's doing a fabulous job doing so, Minister Olivier, and with the community to get those people back in. They're not just there. There's some people on the mainland, some people in Beckwith still as well. It's taken far too long. We have given it a priority. I've asked the Minister of Housing to stop, check the situation, see where we are, see who needs, who didn't get, and what people get, and so forth, what resources we have, and let's get them into the right places, prioritize them based on need, not on politics.
Okay. And anything for your constituents? I know we have a few people that need to say some things today. Everybody looking itching to get their issues out.
Based on the tour that we did and the assessments
Right.
that we did, we were able to make sure that the Beckway runway has been sealed.
Yeah, I
and,
saw that.
Jeff Mitchell Airport,
yeah,
yes.
the
Yes,
Jeff
that's-
Mitchell Airport, right, and has been sealed and totally paved. And they are now working on the terminal building to get it up to standard. Parts of it have already been done, and also the temporary wharf in Canwan, which was damaged by the ground seas, that must come in the port because that has already been fixed, and so people are once again able to use that jetty.
Speaking of the port, there is an issue. I think this is going on for 2 years now at the cruise ship terminal with the damaged fender, right? Which has caused at least one ship to decide it's not docking on that call. What is there a solution in place for that? That we don't miss any more ship calls?
Well, from here, I'm going to a meeting with one of the cruise line,
Right.
dealing with the problem at the port. The fenders, they said, had been repaired already, but probably not
The standard.
as it should be. So the port, we are currently working on getting that problem rectified and dealing with the various cruise lines so that they know that things will be in place so that they can dock safely.
Okay.
Yes.
So the problem is being addressed
Yes, it has been
and
addressed.
should be dealt with before the season is too far in. Done.
It's already far in.
It's already far in. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Because there are so many stakeholders that depend on it.
Right.
So all right. But all right, we're gonna, if it's not fixed, we're gonna bring it
And
up
the
again.
same thing with the Argyle International Airport. One of the
Right.
first, if you like, crisis that we had in this government was when the flights couldn't take off, and then Virgin had to cancel or schedule because of a section of the runway that has been a problem since the airport opened, and they just kept kicking the can down the road, not fixing it permanently. Of course, you have the tourist season, you have the busy season, and you don't want to disrupt that because people have bookings. They depend on this. This is part of our living, and we have to go out there and try and get we have one company providing asphalt, and then the company say, well, listen, we have a little technical problem, we can't fix the thing, and we have to. I mean, it's like running a mobby shop.
Right.
This is critically important. So we know we have to think about how we can fix this permanently. And so we have assessments going on. There's a company in Suriname, one of the Dutch islands, that is doing some assessment, and for us to say, well, this is what needs to be done, and then we will take a decision as to when we can do it, because it has to be fixed. Probably you can't have every season coming that you have to go and repair the asphalt every 2 or 3 weeks.
The budget for the airport, be it repairs and whatnot, seems to be massive.
Yes.
Well,
It's about $32 million to do the work, but I suspect it may cost more depending on what the assessment says. But we're also having to invest in the airport in Kanawan.
And Union Island.
We have a loan of like 46 million US dollars to essentially redo the airport in Kanawan.
Wow.
Because there has been so much neglect over the years. You look at the infrastructure, the docking facilities, the jetties in the Southern Grenadines. I mean, the sea is our highway. You know, the jetties, if you like, they are where the business takes place.
All right.
Yeah.
And so if you don't fix these, then you can't do the business. And back with the jetty there, when they built that so many years ago, people say, well, you're building such a big thing. No, it's pretty much
Small.
It's too small.
Right.
And that's a good position to be in because the demand is driving the
growth.
expansion.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
coming out of the assessment, we were also able to do work at the assessment at the Myro jetty that we found that it is critical, and so the port has done the assessments and work on the Myro jetty that should also be given some urgent attention as quickly as possible. And as I said, the Union Island Airport work would start at the Union Island Airport next month to resurface the runway and to do other infrastructural work there. And as the Prime Minister said, Kanawan would be done a little later down in the year. We'll start
Right.
a little later in the year.
All right. Sounds good there. All right. So, Doctor, so you see, you have me calling. Is it Doctor?
Well, that's fine. I'm
Oh,
free.
you see, you're trying to confuse me now. I don't know if it's
Sure
actually
you're thinking.
the Honorable Terence Oliver, MP for Southern Grenadines, also in charge of airports, seaports,
A lot of things.
a lot of things. Boy, you have
Higher
plenty work to do,
education.
boy.
Higher education.
Yeah, higher education, exactly. Plenty work to do. So, thank you. I think we have who
Thank you.
next? I want to talk about roads, you know. Huh? Okay. My favorite
go,
person in this government. Dr. Friday, you're on the list, but my favorite person in this government. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
No hard
morning. Because you know why? She used to bring some good treats here, to be fair.
Okay.
The black cake, the
All right.
banana
Enough
bread,
said.
and yeah. You
Enough
know,
said.
it's what? No, it's friendly submissions
Yeah.
for review.
It's called neutralizing the enemy.
We have in the studio the Honorable MP for East St. George, Laverne Gibson Velox, yes. And I gotta say, she's in charge of some ministries that over the years we would hear nothing from. Since she's been in, I have to say we hear quite a bit, which is very uplifting. Because I think in Parliament, I think the first whole parliamentary session, somebody said that you were given a ministry that
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse, which I thought was insulting
No, I dealt with it.
to people who depend quite highly on ministries
Yes.
that you're in charge of. So give me your full portfolio again, because
Sometimes I don't even remember.
Right.
Because as every meeting we go to Dr. Friday tax on another one. But it's
Mhm.
gender,
right,
persons with disabilities,
Mhm.
labor, local
Oh.
government.
right.
You see, I
You see the
can't
list
remember.
long, boy.
Sometimes those are the
Social
main-
well.
those are the main
welfare,
ones
mhm.
though. But under some of them come other things that
Right.
like under labor comes occupational safety and health,
Right.
which is something big that we have to be looking at very seriously going
Yeah.
forward.
Because I mean, recently we had a incident where somebody fell off a building.
Yes.
Don't really want
Yeah.
that.
No,
Going
we
on.
don't. We don't.
And then, of course, you have under local government, town boards,
Yeah.
Right.
So stuff in Kingstown here.
Beautiful
Calico,
Kingstown.
yeah.
So I own
Lovely Kingstown.
Yeah.
every market in St. Vincent, every community center.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, all of them fall under my ministry. So I have my hands full. But
Right.
I
How would you
can
describe
handle
it so far?
It's been great. It's been a learning experience, and I have to say that I have been learning a lot from my staff because we sit down and we have the discussions, and I get to understand things a little better. But the thing about my ministry is that a lot of what we do is very confidential.
Right.
We don't talk about it.
Right.
So
Because Talking safety for people.
yes, yeah.
Right.
But also remember we deal with the children,
Yeah.
And some of the things we just don't discuss. We
You know,
don't
the
want
thing is-
it in the media.
We say quite rightly that we are a people-centered government, but this is a ministry of the people. This is where
Right.
you
It is.
deal with it in its very close and immediate way. And so she's the perfect person to do it.
The tear-jerking ministry.
Yeah, I could imagine. So let's say if there's one thing within this first term that you would like to achieve as relates to social welfare and good of the people, what would you say? Like, boy, on my bulletin board, but that I would really love to see that happen.
Let me tell you something, Jagger.
Mhm.
I cannot even do that because the need is so great in so many areas.
Right.
It is so great. What I would really love to see happen is that there is a safe home for women, a place where they can, once when they're abused and they're taken out, and you want to take them out of the situation, a safe home. We don't have that. There was the Guadalupe home that was burnt. It hasn't been rebuilt. So, that we have a shortfall there.
Right.
And the need is great. We also need, we are about to move a little later this year. We're going to move offices because we don't have enough space where we are for confidentiality. Young girls come in, they want counseling. We don't have that space available. So when they sit down, somebody over in another cubicle is
Right.
hearing, and we don't need that.
Yeah.
So
It doesn't encourage
it
coming
does not.
back.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And a lot of them don't come back for that
Yeah,
reason.
privacy and respect.
Yeah.
That's basically need.
Okay, so as it relates to things like Kingstown, lovely Kingstown, beautiful place. And I don't know how anybody could say Kingstown don't look good and don't smell like roses. What's the immediate plan as relates to the beautification of the city? Because I see Barbados now have a ministry of beautification, literally a ministry of beautification for the country.
Actually, the Ministry of Housing,
Mhm.
and you missed that one with Andrew John. He has a project for beautifying Kingstown. It was rolled out in cabinet some time ago, and it is truly an amazing plan. If what he has there goes into effect and comes to fruition, you will get the roses Kingstown
Oh,
that you
okay,
need.
great. Because right now it smells like lavender.
But
Yeah.
I'm with you. We have a lot of restaurants in Kingston where everything goes into the drains, and then the
Yeah.
drains are not clean. One time I asked the sanitation workers what happened to the bamboo y'all used to have to clean, unclog the drains, and they said that is old time thing.
All the time, yeah.
So we need to get Kingston cleaned up, and we
for sure.
need to get some semblance of order when it comes to vending in
Right.
Kingstown, because of my ministry now and disabilities. Every time I think about something, I think about wheelchair.
Right.
And people who have to move around on wheelchairs, and they're bad from doing so sometimes because the vendors encroach onto the
The
sidewalks.
cobblestone as well is becoming a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
The cobblestone, as much as it has historical
Yeah.
significance,
It's
We need to let
smooth.
it
it's too it's dangerous.
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous at this point. So I don't know if
Well, especially when they're not repaired, so they wobble.
Right.
And so
And
the
the-
edges
But they're
are curved.
smooth.
yeah,
too.
they're very
So-
smooth.
Yes, it's
I
surface.
fell down.
You did?
Yeah, I feel like this government have money for me.
I'm sorry to hear.
When did you fall down?
Under the-
After November 27th? Just checking.
Before. Fair enough. You got statute of limitations gone. All right. So
No, can I just say something about the Kingstown thing?
Mhm.
Beautification is it's an immediate kind of temporary measure,
Right.
because you're quite right. I saw one of these video blogs that a travel blogger was doing, and you saw that?
Yeah.
And he going, say, "Oh, we are in Kingston, a little rough around the edges." I thought,
Yeah.
I thought that was quite.
he was being
quite
generous.
polite of him.
He was being generous.
But truthfully, that has to. You have an immediate measure to do that. But let's think about it. We have to reimagine Kingstown as a city. This is our capital city.
Right.
We treat it like a mine. People come in, they walk, and they go, and they just leave it abandoned.
Mhm.
Pretty much, So we have to try and make the city more livable. So you have to get people. This is a longer term project. But we have to get people to live in Kingstown again. When people live in a space, they care about it.
Yeah.
You know, the drains ain't going to stink because you're coming to your minister and you're saying, listen, because you know you're leaving it at 4:00. Yeah.
Right.
And then, so those are the things that we have to think of. How do you make Kingstown more
Livable.
livable? You have to get spaces that are open for public use. We have to, deal with the immediate matters of the drains, the matters of pedestrian, pathways and so forth. The vending, people see vending as a problem. I see vendors as people who are looking for work.
Yeah.
Yes.
These are people, they're not sitting home. They are some of the most hard-working, entrepreneurial people in the country. So we have to use that spirit to be able to
Take
say,
it
well,
easy, coach. And
it's not
sometimes
easy,
you even
but they
make a
do it.
dollar.
And these are people, I have tremendous respect for them getting up and doing this thing every day and so on. They want to work.
Right.
So we have to use that incentive, give them incentive to do it in a way that is productive for them and for the country, because it's an important part of the economy.
Friday with structure.
With structure, yes.
All right.
Well, I mean, that's all it is. It's anyway, but that's enough, Kingston. But you'll see, we have some plans for it, because I mean, this is our showpiece. The cruise ships come in here.
It's the first thing you need.
And so forth. So, and for us, for ourselves, it has to be uplifting, man. You can't just every day come into Kingston. I can't wait till you leave it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, anything else you want to add about your ministries so far?
No, I just want to talk about my constituency.
Oh,
and
boy.
that,
Oh boy.
and included Luke, of course.
Yeah.
He lives there.
Yeah.
But my constituency is huge
Mm-hmm.
and has some really terrible roads. And the people of East St. George want to see them fixed now. I just want to tell them
Mm-hmm.
that everything will happen, but everything takes time.
All right.
We went into a government and met a veritable mess.
Okay.
We have to deal with that, but we also have to deal with our constituencies. East St. George has dirt roads too, I heard Nature saying his constituency has dirt. So does East St. George.
My road looked like a dirt road.
Yeah, so we have to we have
I
a
don't think
lot
it's
of, we
supposed
have
to.
a lot of work to do. But I'm trying to encourage the people too, that we have to come together. It's not only the responsibility of the government, it's the responsibility of the people who are living there, who can do their part in keeping the constituency clean
Absolutely.
and tidy.
Right.
So-
Okay. So, you mentioned that coming into the government, you met some mess. All right. Now, the public, a lot of people in the public have been calling for you guys to highlight some of this mess and some of the people that might have caused some of this mess. Now, know that before you even got into power, you said that you're going to be a different kind of government. It's not going to be this heavy-handed. However, right, I still think that there were promises of accountability that I'm sure you're going to get to. But can you explain why maybe what people are expecting to see thus far, they have not seen it as yet, as it relates to keeping previous administration accountable?
Jagger,
Mm-hmm.
my Prime Minister, Dr. Friday, is a very deliberate man.
Very deliberate.
When the time is right,
Right.
all will be revealed.
Okay.
What we're starting that process now. We have set up, we call it it's a rapid assessment. It's a committee, but it's a team that are assessing the boards, the statutory boards, because we have a lot of them. We're replacing the members on the boards now because all of them expired at the end of December, which is quite a ridiculous thing that all these boards become pretty much empty at the end of December, and we have to replace. So we are doing an assessment as well as to see what value they add, where we could combine, how they have been managed. If you need further investigations, we will do so. So
So you might.
Minister
So some
Bellex
peop-
is correct. We come into government basically on the 28th. I was sworn in
Mhm.
of November as Prime Minister, and we have been quite literally being driven by the exigencies from the day-to-day functioning of government, the things that we have to do just to keep the ordinary functions of government going, because we're inheriting a government after 25 years
Right.
and so forth. We have to.
So it's not as easy as just cut everybody and.
Well, listen, you can't, first of all, and I don't know if you listen to me in the campaign. I say if you're doing your work, that is basically what we expect of you.
Right.
But there's going to be accountability. there's going to be the proper assessments of areas of the way government has functioned in the past. You will see that. So have no fear about thinking that we are not. This is a responsible part of being in government. We have to make an assessment as to do it. We're making sure that we get the right people who can do this for us, and that is in process.
All right, we have a question here. Will your government commit to fully establishing the Integrity Commission and requiring asset declarations from ministers and senior officials in order to strengthen transparency
Yes.
and public trust in governance? Yes?
Yes.
Yes? How? Hold on. The previous administration also said that. How
We are
much
not the previous
time?
administration.
How much time do we give to expect it?
Well, it has to be done we have examples around the region. So it has to be done in a way that takes into account all of the things that are necessary. I discussed this recently with members of my cabinet, not everybody, but we are going to do the necessary assessment. And as soon as we get that done, we will implement it. It certainly will happen during the term of this government.
During the term of
Yeah.
this government. All right. That's within 5 years.
Well, it will be less than 5 years, but I'm just letting you know
Okay.
that it's in the term of this
It's
government.
coming. Okay. All right. So who next? Boy. This is the one. This is the one I've been waiting for. I've never had the pleasure of meeting the man himself. I've only seen him in videos and pictures, and you hear his voice. But I don't think this is your first time up here. It's your first time in Hot 97. We have ding 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 in the ring. MP for South Leeward, the Honorable Nature Stevenson, aka sorry, no, it should be Nature's the nickname.
That one.
Nigel.
Stevenson. You see, I only know. You see, everybody say
All of
Nature,
that good.
right? So, Minister of Transport and Work, Infrastructure, and physical planning. Right. So we're talking roads. All right. We reach where we want to go. We're talking South Leeward as well. So stepping into, you've also been on the opposition side in Parliament for quite some years. Stepping into the new realm now of being in the governing side, how would you assess it thus far?
Should be told that for the 99 days that we've been in, we have inherited, and I tell you what, especially with respect to infrastructure, we have inherited a country, to my mind, that has been neglected, that has been broken down, and is in dire need of urgent repairs. And I am grateful for the opportunity. I'm really delighted that Dr. Friday, our Prime Minister, has given me the responsibility to be the person to deal with infrastructure, because from day one, I've been hitting the ground running. And the intention is to make sure that one road at a time, our roads get better throughout the entire country. And I know that you are interested in it because you want your road repaired.
Yes,
as
please.
well.
Like
The
yesterday.
dirt road, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, my dirt road, my donkey cart.
As a resident in your constituency, I would like to bring up an issue
Go right ahead.
that has been plaguing our community for years. I live Lomonsby, right? And there was an access path that could have been a really good by road from Otley Hall to Lomonsby many moons ago. I just want to bring that up to your attention that you could.
Jeannie trying to get to home and work a little quicker, right? He's trying to get to road and work home and work a little quicker.
Well,
No, because-
charity begins at home, so I can
Exactly.
see.
And because remember the other day a 40-foot container
Yeah.
turned over in
Yeah.
Gallows Bar Corner.
Yeah.
Blocked the come
Yeah,
on.
move, yeah.
Yeah.
We
You need
more access roads.
Yeah.
All right. We will assess it as government.
Well, to be honest, it's
Jack has
something.
appointed himself as advisor to the Minister of
So
Infrastructure.
we have different rules and priority
Yeah,
over
but
that right now.
I am well prepared to walk side by side with you, because that is something that we have been talking about for a long time as well. And we were longing for the opportunity to ensure that that project becomes a reality.
Right.
Yeah, because I know, as somebody who lives on the leeward end, how difficult it is, because I've been trapped in traffic, not because of the container, but a few years before that, we had an incident where a heavy machine actually overturned in the road, and for hours at Gibson Corner, just above Gibson Corner there. Yeah. So we see the importance, and we've been going to the parliament for years and years and asking the government to have an alternative road to the leeward end, and that appeal has been falling on deaf ears. But now that we are in government, we will ensure that the process begins to get it done.
All right. Okay, so the next thing I really feel like we need to address is the vans. I know some people seem to be afraid of vans. The Vinci van culture, public transport on a whole. I think it plays into different elements of the economy that maybe we're underestimating, right? So some of the frustrations, you look out the window right now, it is currently 9:09 a.m. and there's bumper to bumper traffic. Probably too many vehicles trying to traverse the country. Isn't improving the public transport system one of the ways that we can alleviate this traffic congestion? And what are the plans that we could expect for that alleviation?
As the Minister with responsibility for transport, I am quite aware of the congestion that occurs in Kingstown. And we are now seeing congestion in traffic on the leeward end. That used to be something synonymous with people commuting from the windward side of the island.
Right.
But now the leeward side is also getting it. And quite apart from the number or the increased number of vehicles that come into our country, we recognize that there's limitation with respect to the road network. And a matter of fact, as soon as I leave this studio, I have a meeting with one of my units in the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure that is called the Project Management Implementation Unit. And that unit is charged with the responsibility of establishing new road networks and also carrying out some major infrastructure work in the country. So at 9:30, I should actually be having a meeting with them as we, as we, see the way forward.
Right.
Right. And I can tell you this.
Can we expect a bypass?
I can tell you this, that in the works, we have already drawings and all of these things for reconfiguration of the Arnesville area. That is causing a roundabout is coming.
Right. Yeah. Roundabout is coming.
And also one of the things that we are planning to do is from the Arnesville tarmac area into Kingstown to have at least an additional lane. So in the morning, for example, we can open 2 lanes from the windward side into Kingstown.
Wow.
Okay.
And coming out of Kingstown, we would have 1 lane. And in the evening, we have this ridiculous traffic, we reverse the process and have 2 lanes going out of Kingstown.
Makes sense.
Yeah?
Practical solutions.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
To serious
okay.
problems.
Yeah. Serious issues. It shouldn't be spending an hour from here to Prospect.
Exactly.
You know, it just.
But there are also alternative roads on that end that we are actually pursuing as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So
all right. So
just time, because we need our people to know that these are projects that would not happen overnight. We have a concept of the projects. And then we start going to work to see how much funding we can get.
Very good.
Yeah, for them.
Okay. All right. Nicholas, you next? No, I'm just joking. Nicholas, thing done, man. Don't worry. People ain't worry about that. All right. So I 99 days in office. Tomorrow makes 100.
And 100 ways to celebrate.
Right.
100 things to celebrate.
Yeah. Okay.
And 100 more things to look forward to.
I mean, things are happening already. Things are already happening, because in my constituency, for example, we have 2 new roads that we have started under the former administration. I don't even like to call the names, but these are, designated roads that have been neglected totally. But we have taken the initiative to, even if we are not able to pave them immediately, to make it more accessible to those persons who are using them. So we have already carried those heavy equipment, the tractors and so on, and we push those roads. We have aligned them, we have designed them, and for one of those roads, we have already procured the materials and have a contract signed already to start work. So we're going to be moving. And also throughout the country, what I've asked my colleagues to do is to give me 2 priority roads in their constituencies that they would want to see done in the immediacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those will be done this year.
And they will be done this year.
All right.
One of the sorry to interject real quick. One of the radical things I've suggested on air numerous times to help ease the day-to-day congestion in St. Vincent and the Grenadines was parking. That is the issue in town, you know.
Yes.
A lot of people circle town looking for parking.
Yeah.
Correct.
And since the PM came out and said that we'll be expanding the new hospital, adding additional wings to close the old facility that is derelict and neglected for decades,
Yeah.
I suggested making that a parking structure and moving the Leeward bus terminal on the ground floor. Like many of us have traveled, we've seen bus terminals on ground floors with businesses and residences
Yes.
above, right?
Yes. Yes.
So have all of the Leeward traffic stop where it is, roundabout, right in the middle between the corner when you bend from the streets by the bakery, this up, roundabout, parking, bus terminal, small light transport to go uptown, tuk-tuks, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And where the designated land is for Parliament, we do the exact same thing for the Windward side. A 7-story car park with the Windward bus terminal on that side. So the congestion in Kingstown,
Where we going to put the $50 million parliament if people park in there?
we figured out later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know,
It's,
I mean, it's radical, but
listen, this is what you have to do. You have to think outside the box.
exactly.
You know, and it gives now an opportunity for discussion, and I hope that the listeners will join in after we have left and we have some feedback on that,
Of
because
course.
it's we have to look at non-traditional solutions.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just going to be doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Modern problems need modern
well, you know,
solutions.
something that we are also looking at the ministry. Well, I have been the person. I know the time is not on our side, but there's a transport operating system. Not just transport operating system, but a transit operational system, right? Very similar to what you have been talking about. So rather than you may have somebody traveling long distances from Kingstown to, yeah. And one of the things that we want to do is to have in a designated area where we can have people commuting from one point and they are dropped off at another point, okay?
Transit.
That's a transit operation system that we're talking about, and have restroom facilities there for them, right? Because sometimes you may leave Kingstown and you want to exactly, right? And at that designated area, we're going to create a bus terminal, and then we have other public transportation taking these passengers to where they actually live. So, like you're saying then, you leave them to a point, and then everybody's going to be a part of the economic pie, right? So rather than one vehicle taking you from Kingstown all the way to Chateaubriand or to Georgetown, you know, you leave them at a certain point, and then you have local buses and so on, taking them to the other. So those are some of the things that we have planned. We want to revolutionize the way transport is done in this country. And given the time, we will.
Given the time, you will. All right. Well, I can guarantee you, if things ain't moving, you'll be right back here saying, guys, sorry. But you know, it's like, just joking. Anyways,
You're cynical, isn't it?
I know.
We have solutions.
All right.
And we will do our very best to make sure. And the thing is that Mitchell would tell you is that this is not being done in isolation and in ivory tower. We have to have consultation with stakeholders, with people who know what the problems are and who may have solutions that he as minister may not have thought of.
Right.
That I as prime minister may not. But the point is to have involvement of the people who bring something to the table. We have that conversation before we move forward.
all right. Well,
All right.
99 days in
chance to-
office.
Yeah.
I think you assessed it in one word as wonderful. At least the responsibility of it as wonderful.
It's been wonderful. It's been a really tremendous experience to be able to serve people, to deliver and the promises that we have made and the commitments that we have to this country. We have so much more to get done. I'm excited about it. It's a daunting task at the beginning because we have so many obstacles and hurdles to overcome before we can put our plan in place.
Right.
But we've been doing that, and the past 3 months have really been us, running to keep up just to get the actual functions of government keep going. And now we have a bit more space now, so we could start focusing on the things we want to. For my own constituency, for example, we have a road in Paget Farm I've been talking about. I always said that had a 7-year lead time.
The thing, yeah, where
but now this road, yeah.
That's fallen over.
Well, there's that, but we haven't started that yet. But there's one in area called Broad Road. They've started work on that to widen it and to make it drivable again, quite frankly. In Paget Farm, that is. But we've said in the budget that we're going to light the playing field at Port Elizabeth.
Right.
The pipe tennis playing field. This is something that they've been asking for long. It will be transformative for sports in Beckwith. We're going to fix the playing field in Paget Farm as well. We have a fantastic venue there. We will put that in place, fix the lighting and the hard court and so forth, so that the communities will have a space to enjoy in a safe and doing constructive things, constructive activities.
Okay.
It's again reaching out, providing opportunities for our young people. We said we would do that. We had to focus on them. Young people came out and supported us in droves in the last election because they want to see hope in this country, and we will deliver that.
Nice.
So I have another meeting coming up just now, as scintillating as this interview has been. And
back in the day, you would have a little time, but now.
Back in the day, yes. But I mean, it's important that we're here, and we will take the opportunity, even if it's 10 minutes, an hour, and sometimes it's an hour and so forth.
Right.
2 hours, we will come and we will be accessible.
Right.
And hopefully we get a chance to get some more questions from your audience, your very large audience.
Okay.
One of the things I want to end with is to tell my friend there that we also have as one of the priority roads for West Kingstown, that link road between Great House and Lomans Bay.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
A walking government.
Yeah.
All right, my brothers. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. And if you are looking for something to do this Tuesday, this is national interest. No, national interest.
Yes.
Football is on.
Yes.
Football fans, get ready. Victoria Park comes